We are here at the legendary Stevyzam circuit as we await the lights, and it is lights out and away we go. Lyte, our pulsator, he immediately defends going into turn 1. We can see how he positioned his car right there, and he defends brilliantly as we head now into the chicane. Mr. Brian gets hit by Mr. Tino, who got hit by Anthony. A lot of contact there as Mr. Brian now goes into the Aston Martins. He goes bowling, and we can see a few cars losing out in the grass. They go spinning into the grass as we hop on board with Versatile. No safety car, says the FIA. As Versatile, he just tries to navigate this lap 1 chaos. Acid, did he have contact with the Aston Martin? It's hard to tell. Acid gets hit. He gets hit once more, and he goes spinning off the track. He goes spinning off at left field, going airborne even, as we hop on board with Carol. Carol is an F2 driver, currently reserving here for Sauber. He's doing a brilliant job maintaining his own position in this very, very competitive and very compact field. Versatile is all over the rear wing of Crispy as Versatile sets himself up for an overtake. Down the inside he goes, and there he goes. He gets the position from Crispy. As we hop on board with Mr. Tino. Mr. Tino has been doing a brilliant job in just this first lap.
I think everyone is on hards in the top 6.
He's been gaining positions left and right. Surely the drive of a champion as he gets hit. That was a diabolical dive bomb from that V-car. What was that? There's a lot of chaos as we try to exit this chicane. We got 5 drivers here just separated by a couple seconds. Tino Kurz is ahead, and so does Anthony. Anthony holds that inside, but he loses out as he goes around the outside of the V-Carb against what I believe to be Jimbo. Mr. Brian spectates this whole battle as Anthony Kurz is ahead. As we hop on board with Versatile, he is trying to get this move done. Double overtake, will he be able to do it? The Sauber of the F2 rookie, Carroll, tries to hold on around the outside. They curse. Versatile curses right after him. Versatile curses once more, and he gets ahead. Carroll backs out, going into Maggots and Beckett's as Acid pushes aside one of the Aston Martins from that earlier crash. I'm sure he is very frustrated, and he's just trying to get his way through. Versatile is trying to fight Carroll as Carroll makes a rookie mistake. Carroll goes over the curb, taking too much of it, and he spins out. Very unfortunate for him as he was at the final corner. I'm sure he'll be fine though. Mr. Brian, a little bit of contact with a few other cars as they head into this next lap. Versatile, he's going for a very risky overtake there as Acid now approaches his own teammate. He's got a lot of work to do.
Indeed he does. Acid, who started all the way up in P13, now all the way down in P17, going to be looking down the straight for any type of opportunities, maybe trying to make a move with the curse into Maggots and Beckett's. As I see him try to hunt down Crispy, now getting closer and closer. Oh, and he crashes into Crispy, and that's a big collision to Maggots and Beckett's. His teammates still battling ahead of him. Bit of wheel-to-wheel action going through. Acid getting overtaken by Brecky there. Now he's going to be looking into the final corners. Going to be seeing if he can find any place that's just too tight, just too far ahead. Now taking the inside with Curse, going to be looking to maybe double overtake on his teammate as he just hangs in behind and doesn't risk it. Now Acid trying to look in the first corner, not doing anything dumb as he knows his teammate doesn't want to get into any form of a collision.
We both did hard medium stints in practice and we were.
Now with Versa down the back straight, cursing up to try and get close into Maggots and Beckett. Hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake as Acid. As he doesn't, he holds behind, trying to look for an opportunity later in the lap as he curses maybe around the outside, gets the overtake done. That might have been a blue flag though, as now he looks around the outside, doesn't make the move. I'm going to stay behind the car here, usually through the chicane as we've seen, taking a wide exit, trying to get as much curse as possible. Only gets overtaken by Lyte, who's going to be on his inside. He's going to make it a bit difficult for him into the next corner. So he should try and look for something in this next one, as he does, sending it down the inside, getting the overtake done. Oh, and he Lance re-overtakes on the inside, but the switchback goes well for him, and he's now through on the inside. As Versa should now be looking to get a good exit to hopefully make the overtake on the next straight.
Yep, full bar of Kurz. I don't see any reason as to why he wouldn't be able to pull it off. He's getting pretty close now, isn't he?
Now we see Melly fighting the Alpine down the straight, and there's a big collision there. That's going to send the Alpine high into the sky. It's going to allow Acid to come through, maybe on the inside of his teammate. We'll see what happens here on Radion. And he sticks it through on the inside, and he should have enough curse to stay ahead as he's completely ahead through Maggots and Beckett's. Now we see Versa battling Robert, and we see Robert go into the air, and that's going to be Robert out the race and all the way down back through the order. That's a huge loss for Robert, and now we're going to see Tino into Maggots and Beckett. Let's see if he can get the overtake down on the V-carb. He's going to try it around the outside, looking for the inside on the next corner. Looks like he should be able to hold it on the inside, but let's see if he can keep it through the next couple of corners as we see Jimbo maybe offering to hold a bit of curse.
As we hop on board with Jimbo now through Maggots and Baggots. Oh wow, no, as he makes a huge mistake flying into the mountain, which sends him absolutely flying through the air. Is the Formula 1 car or is it the plane? It doesn't matter for the racing with Jimbo. As Spooky and Brian move up a place, up the road, T-Dash in the Alpine is right on the back of the Williams, looking for an overtake into Stowe. Backing out for now, Versa keeping P7 for the time being. Past the pit lane entry they go. T-Dash will try to hang on to the back of Versatile, going into the next lap. Both cars dumping their curse, but Versa will hold on to his position for now.
Just up ahead, we see Mr. Brian chasing down Mr. Spooky, heading into the first set of corners now. Mr. Spooky, the Formula 2 driver from ART, filling the second Ferrari seat today, replacing Apple, who's currently away after getting too many penalty points. Mr. Spooky putting in a great performance for Ferrari today in P4, but Mr. Brian is right behind him, heading into Luffield now. A little bit of a nudge there from Mr. Brian. Down the inside goes Quangus John. A little bit of wheel banging during that corner. The McLaren comes out just in front of him now, but Mr. Brian is able to regain that position just before we head into the Mighty Cops corner. Mr. Brian is now all over the back of Mr. Spooky once again, but Mr. Spooky's just a little bit more curse. Going into Maggots and Beckett's here. Oh, and that's Mr. Spooky in the mountain as well.
This gives the Haas driver an easy overtake. This mountain seems to be catching a lot of drivers off guard as we hop on board the Versa now, losing some ground to the cars ahead, but boosts right back to the McLaren in front. The Williams starting from P19 is having a great recovery so far, taking a slower line into Club, leaves him slightly exposed to T-Dash behind. On the start-finish straight now, going into Village, this battle truly has become a four-way battle for the fourth position of the race. Quangus pushing Brian through the corners as the McLaren hits the rear of the Haas, spinning him around. The Williams and the Alpine again, gaining an easy position as the Williams is up into P4 now.
But here comes the racing balls of Mad Jimbo, who snatches that 7th position from the McLaren. Now he sets off after Mr. Brian down the Wellington straight. Jimbo carrying a lot more momentum through this part of the track and closes the gap to Mr. Brian. As now we exit onto the old pit straight, he is now all over the gearbox of Mr. Brian. Mr. Brian thinks about the defensive line but backs out. Jimbo tries to curse just before Cops and they almost touch, narrowly avoiding contact, but Mr. Brian stays in front for now.
Two very dominant Mercedes lead the race. They lead the pack as they are followed closely behind by a frustrated Anthony, I believe. He's been stuck behind these two drivers for too long, perhaps in his mind, as we hop on board with Versatile. Versatile, he's been doing an excellent job this race, gaining 15 positions from the start. That is an excellent recovery from a disappointing qualifying for him. As we're back on board with Anthony, he is getting closer to those two Mercedes. I believe he is within striking distance of Mr. Tino. He goes for a move. He goes side by side. Excellent job from him. Will he hold on to the position?
Tino sending it down the straight. He's going to be looking on the inside of Maggots and Beckett's, and they have a slight touch that Anthony's going to look like he's come off worse, but Anthony's still just following behind. As you see now from Lyte's perspective, just how tight that battle is between the three of them. So now we see Versatile going to the pits, opting for a different strategy here. It seems like Brian's going to be following him that same strategy, which should allow Jimbo to just keep driving through. In fact, he does. He's going to leave him in a big gap up to third, but he should have some fresh air to drive now.
Versatile is back into the race. New tires for the Williams driver, but he falls down the order. Bluche and Mr. Spooky overtake him heading into the chicane. Versatile just needs to make this strategy work. He needs to hold on to these tires probably to the end of the race, I think, as Mr. Spooky defends the Aston Martin and Bluche in the Aston defends Versatile. Versatile is going to try to sneak up on these two here. Will he go for a move? It looks like he's holding back for now. Now is the opportune moment, but there's contact between the two drivers.
And that's huge damage for Bluche. He's lost his whole rear wing. Now Versatile looking to make a move, looking to get up into P9 to score more points for his team. He's going to look for it down the inside. He gets there early, but will the other driver send it back? He's going to hold wide defensive line, but there the Ferrari is up the inside, not going to allow the switch back. Ferrari might still try it down the inside, but we'll see if he holds it on the outside heel.
On board with Lyte now, who's in the pit lane, going from our first long stint on the hards onto a new set of mediums, and Acid, who is still yet to pit, will overtake Lyte for the race lead now, closely followed by Tino and the other Mercedes. This race truly has become a battle between the two Mercedes teammates, and now it's just a question how much Acid will hold up the Mercedes pairing and reduce their lead to the cars behind. The Red Bull driver is struggling to keep pace on his old tires, but still manages to fend from Tino in P2, as Tino tried to go for a move on the Wellington straight, setting up for the next straight now. The Mercedes pairing will need to clear this Red Bull as soon as possible.
Use these cars.
Acid, can you please just move, man? Do something with it.
I will. I'm gonna after this lap.
As we hear Lyte in P3 asking on the radio if S can move out of the way. Catching up in the sweeping sector of the circuit, it looks like Tino has had enough of the stalling and sets will move on the inside, going into stow. Oh, they touch before even go into stow. That must have scared the shit out of Tino, who is now up into P1. As Acid dives into the pit lane for his final pit stop, it's a Mercedes 1-2 on track once again.
It's a special day at Silverstone for Mercedes today. After 3 consecutive seasons at the team, Lyte and Tino will be parting ways at the end of this season, and what better way to celebrate their amazing journey at the team than with a showcase of complete domination at the home grounds here in Great Britain. Not only that, but Lyte and Tino now claim their second F1 Constructors victory together and the third Constructors Championship for Mercedes overall, as now they come to cross the line with the spectacular Mercedes 1-2 finish. Right behind that, we're going to see a Ferrari of Anthony finish up on the podium. Versa and Jimbo, home races for them, P5 and 6, amazing drives from both of them. And we're going to see Mr. Spooky reserving for Ferrari, let by his Haas teammate just for some extra points, help his battle out in the standings.
Formula V will be back next week for the penultimate round of season 13 at Violet Hill for the Canadian Grand Prix.